Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. So basically, I would be covering these topics in today's agenda, wherein some of the topics I would be covering within the slides, and some of the topics I would be demonstrating right away in the SFMC platform. So to start with the email design best practices. So as we are mainly dealing with content builder of the part, so before we pitch into the Salesforce specific things, there are some email best practices that I'll be covering. Then we can proceed with our SFMG specifics, email studio, content blocks, email templates, static emails, dynamic emails. Then some of the best practices which we have to build emails according to CAN spam and how the delivery settings is set up in SFMC. So yeah, I think the Q&A sessions will be at the end, or whenever I'm explaining, if anybody would like to ask any specific question on that, we can always raise. Okay, so before we start, before we start with anything technical specific, generally I would like to give you an anatomy of an email. Means what are the basic parts of any atypical email. Okay, I would like to everyone to be familiarized with these some terminologies like subject line, pre-header. The header means this is nothing. This is the like a metadata of an email, that header part, and then navigation bar, an index, and email body, offer, images, CTA. We call it as a call to button, and footer. To give an example, like I would be even showing this in live, but just I will comparing which section is header. So subject line, pre-header, and the header section. This will not be visible with your body of your content. So this is actually the body I have taken the screenshot. To start with, okay, before that, let me show in the real time example itself. So everybody can see my screen. So this is my actual Gmail inbox, wherein you can see I have received a promotional email from Bata. So Bata is, as you know, it's a footwear company famous in India. So Bata has sent an email. So I will using this, I will be explaining some of the components of a typical email. Okay. So how do I know this? Okay. So this is the subject line. So subject line is what first you see whenever you receive an email, and then a line next to the subject line would be the pre-header. So to enjoy up to 50% off. So see, you can see this text here, but that would not be available within the body of the email. That's because it will be part of like a metadata. It will not be available in the body of the email. So subject line, pre-header is done. Next, there will be something called, as I said, metadata that you can see here. So to give an example, see this Bata Club, this is the from name. Okay, means any customer or subscriber who has received, they will be easily identified from whom this email has been received. Okay, and then this is the from email address. Always it's best practice to observe the domain of this email. So if the email has been received from Bata company, the domain also should be received from that. You may have received some spam emails wherein it may say Bata in the from name, but here you may observe xyz@bata.com, so or bata.xyz. So that means it is a spam. Always look into the domain. That is one of the best practice. So similarly like that, reply to is whenever if someone clicks on reply to this email receives where the email will be going to. And then this is the receiver. See, this has been received to my Gmail. So that is to address. Similarly, when this email was received, what is the subject line? And then mailed by. So this is the domain which the email has been sent from. So like that, these are the metadata or header section. Then coming to the navigation, this is optional section like header navigation, we call it as. Then we have the body of the email. Then we have some promotional offer images. Note that all these images they have made clickable, so that the main intention of this email is someone to click on this email and they land to their respective website and make purchases. That's the intention. So the more you provide CTA buttons or call to actions, the more the customer or subscriber will engage to the email and they will get more return on investments. Okay, then this is the CTA, call to action means CTA button. And then this is the footer section. And also we have some, as nowadays, as most of the companies are active on all the social media networks, they will embed their social media icons and they will link it to their respective websites. Okay. Also, like, see, suppose if any subscriber clicks on this specific link and if they land, this specific interaction also will be captured via tracking. Okay. So like that, they can track each and everything specific. So this isn't just a high level or an anatomy of an email. So let's go to the next section. Okay, next I will just briefly explain some of the email design best practices. Next, you can even go through this later. Just I will cover the high level topics wherein some of this one is, I will give the example and then I will show. So as you can see, in most of your email clients, whenever you receive an email, suppose if you receive an email, if you receive an email to your Outlook, the Outlook first tries to block the images. So by default, the images will not be enabled. So always it's best practice to include most the text part rather than building developing your emails just by using images. Okay. So what happens? We are demonstrating here. If the images is on, the email look like this. But if your email client like Outlook, if it disables images, you may see that instead of this logo, at least if you give that alt attribute, so that alternate text will be displayed instead whenever that image is disabled. So if you use most of the text part, in spite of the images being disabled, the message which you want to convey to your subscriber, that will be conveyed. So that is one of the best practice. So using the real-time text means that is using text instead of real images. Means images are good. It is good to have, but not to overuse images. Okay. Then using the contrast. See, to give an example here itself, if your email background is white, always use the darkest font. So if you are using gray or middle tone grays, that will not have a better impact. Okay. Always use the contrast text according to the background. To give an example, see here they have used background as black. So whenever using a dark background, use light colored logos, light colored text, and light colored links, so that it will be easy for subscribers or customers to take action on those components. Okay. Then also keep them, if your main intention is to promote your products or give information, so the customer have to read the text or the content, right? So see, whenever a text is very simple or if it is single line, keep it center aligned. So that's fine. So it is more readable and fine. But if there is a lot of text, always make it to left aligned. See here they have not aligned it to left, and also they have tried to use some graphics and all. So it is not a good practice. So always give some proper line spacing so that it is readable and it is properly aligned. And then while using links, so then they are given 3 types of different links you can use. Means always the link is what the customer will be taking action, and then there will be the ROI, return on interest, will be gathered. Means if you send an email, promotion email stating that promoting a particular product, you want to promote a particular like a Nike shoes or Puma shoes. So whenever you send an email, you would like them to click on the button or an image and then land to the website and purchase. So if you give the sent line as this same color as a normal text, then they would not be taking any action. Even most of the customer would not like to click anything in a text which is underlined. But however, if you make it as a button, always, even on a mobile device or in desktop, always the customer subscriber feels that they want to click that button and just see, they want to see. That's why make your call to CTA buttons more attractive and in contrast colors. So now I will be covering most of the stuffs within the SFMC platform. Okay. Let's go to the SFMC tool. Okay, let me first navigate to Mail Studio. Yeah, I guess most of you will be using, or some of you are new. So to start with, I will today I will be covering Email Studio, that to specific content builder. But however, before we jump into the specific section, I will like to cover some of the overview of this Email Studio and how the tabs are arranged. So I will start with the overview tab. So whenever you log into SFMC, and you will be landing to this overview tab. Okay. So I will also tell some of the useful feature of this user interface, so that it will be helpful. So to start with, so see, first you will see the recent items. So the first one, and under the recent items, you will be having subcategories. To give an example, see, today I am a user, means with the user represented by MC user 11 in this account. So whatever email contents I have worked recently, that will be populated here. The most recent will be on top, and it will be arranged in descending order of the modification time. So like that. So if I want to work on recently work data extensions, I can select here. So instead of navigating to data extensions and finding where I have where my data extension is, so all the recently worked stuffs will be here only in the under the overview recent things. So also assume that you want to, this will be arranged by the specific user. Also, if you want to see the other emails developed by your colleagues or the other users of this account, you can select that user, and then you can find what are all the recently developed emails by the users which you have selected. So like that, if assume that your colleagues tells that, okay, I have recently developed, please continue to work on that. So that you can select that particular user and you can go to the content. So you can easily find that the recently worked email contents. Okay, so let me switch back. So these are the sections where the contents which are being either developed or are completed developing. And next there comes the send sections. So in this account, actually we don't have any sends. Assume you have deployed in the past week around 2 to 3 different email campaigns. So the recently sent stuff will be here under the sends. It will in the past section. So where it would be demonstrating high level opens, clicks, and sends. Also, there is a subsection called pending. These are in this section, you would be seeing any emails which are set to be deployed. Assume today is Sunday, yeah. Monday, tomorrow, assume there is an email deployment Monday, 10 a.m. IST. So that would be showing here. So that the upcoming emails which are being set to, which are scheduled to be sent. Okay, those sections. So now let's move on to the content builder. So before I move, just I will show, like, as you can see, there are different tabs here. The content, which is for content builder, the subscribers, which mainly deals with data, the interaction, the way you send email, the tracking. So how these tabs are arranged are in a sequence of an email campaign operations. To give an example, first assume you, let's take an example. That is Monday, tomorrow, 10 a.m. IST, you want to send an email. Okay. To send an email, first you have to build the email, means develop an email, either by HTML or within the SFMC platform. So whatever you have to build, everything uploading images, assets, or any documents, video files, and building email, everything you will do under this content builder. After once you have the email ready, then you have to do the you want to target the subscribers, means then you will create your subscriber base or target audience by storing them in either a list or a data extension and performing segmentation. Okay, all those things you will do under this subscriber tab. So now you have the email ready and you have the data extension ready. Then how you want to send and when you have to send, those things, how and when, that will be configured here. whether you want to send it as a user initiated email or you want to as a triggered email. So all these things will be done here. So these are like pre-deployment activities: create email, select the audience, and send the email. So once your email is sent, you want to see how did your email perform, how many opens it got, how many clicks it got. So all these things finally post-deployment activities that you will be doing under this tracking sense. There you can find it. Okay. So if you are admin, then you will have this admin section. Like this, that's the reason it is arranged in such an order. So for next, let's dive into the content builder. Okay, so this is how the content builder looks. So as most of you would be knowing that this content builder has been recently means it's a couple of years, around 2 to 3 years. Before we had something called classic content. Now we have content builder, which is very intuitive and easy to use. So I will also, before we start to the actual content template stuff, I will also give this how to use this user interface. Okay, to start with here. So firstly, you would be seeing that there are two subtabs, the local and the shared. To understand this, you must be aware of a concept called business units. So assume that this account is for, let's take our SFMC standard example only. Assume this account is for SFM's Northern Rail Outfitters. And Northern Rail Outfitters is a, assume this is a fake company used just for demonstration purpose by Salesforce. But assume this is a real company where you will be able to purchase different accessories like shoes, jackets. Okay, so they want to promote their products via SFMC. Okay, in there, and they would be operating in different countries. So we would be having different each country like Canada or Malaysia. So each of them would be having different business units. So each of them would be identified by business units. So you are creating a content for USA, and you want to share that content for like Europe region, like UK, United Kingdom, so that you can create a content in particular business unit under the local, and you can share it. So any shared contents will be stored under here. That will be available here. So that shared contents will be available across two business units if there are two business units. Okay. That is how the difference between local and shared. Then coming to this section, first I will start with here. So to create any content, you will have a common button called create. Then you have this subcategories. So always it's to build any email. So it's a top-down approach. So first you will be uploading your images and other stuffs, other documents, and then create content blocks using those images. And then once you have the images, you would be if you want, you can create a template by yourself if you are good at HTML. Or there are some predefined, pre-built templates readily available within SFMC. You can even make use of this. And finally, you can build your email. Or if you are a company wherein you can even directly getting HTML by an external agency, directly you can create an email using HTML. Okay. So we will do this in our next part of the session. So these are how you can create different contents. So next, what are these? So as you can see, these are the different types of contents. This is a section where you can see currently available contents. So by default, it will be modified. It will be sorted by modified and descending. That means the recently worked emails or any uploaded images, those things will be available at the top. So but instead, assume that you want to sort by name. So even you can do that, so that all the contents, irrespective of the type, it will be sorted. But this is the ascending or descending. So you want to sort it by ascending, then it will be sorted in alphabetical order, starting with numbers, then with ABCD, like that. Okay, so always by default, it will be modified and descending, so that the recently worked or recently edited stuff contents will be available at the topmost. Okay, that is sort by and ascending, descending. And these icons are just like how you have in your My Computer, like a line detail view and thumbnail view. Similarly, it is a line view, and this is a thumbnail view. So if you make it thumbnails, a short preview of each of your content will be available If you make it list view, you can see the details of each of the content in the list. And that. Then you see a gear icon. Using this, you can control the column names here. Assume that the name, the location. Okay, assume that you are just a content developer and you are not a SFMC developer, wherein you are not interested to have this customer key. Okay? So in that case, you can just go to this settings and you can turn off this selection wherein customer key, so that column will not be available. Means it will be just hidden from your view, and it will be applied for only for your user. It will not affect any other users. So like that, feel free to like modify your whenever you are using SFMC according to your preferences. And then finally we have this filter icon. Okay, so as you can see here, it is a mixed type of as it is a content types, there are different. This is a template based email, this is a layout block, and this is an email. So like this, all the type of, there are different type of contents available. But assume that you want to see only you want recently uploaded images. So like that, there are different filters available here. Okay, so also there is one drawback of this filter I will show at the end. To start with, yeah, you can filter this stuffs based on the different types, content types. So as I said, you want to see only the images. That is, images are represented by source files. There are different source files like images, raw image, video, documents, audio, code block, or text only. So like that, you can, if you select images, so you would be, this will be filtered only images. Only the images will be sorted here. Okay, like that. Even within email, there are different ways of creating email, whether it is a template based email or a HTML only email, text only email. So if you want to see if there are any HTML only email, so you can see. So as there are no HTML only email, you can see by template based emails. So like that, you can filter by specific content types. Okay, then if you have any tags tag to any particular email or image, you can even sort by that. And one more useful feature is similar to that example I gave in overview. Assume that you want to work on any email which is being developed or half developed by your colleague or friend, so that you can select that particular user, so that you will be get to know what are all the different emails or content blocks being worked by your colleague, so that particular users email and contents will be available here. Okay, I will switch off. So yeah, one of the drawbacks which I found was like, assume that you are doing some R&D, means you want to some of your manager, someone told that you to identify a particular image whether it is available or not. You have applied a content source file and image. Let's take audio. Okay, and then they tell, okay, there is no email, and then you turn off this filter, and so you go for a break and come back, and you want to continue working on an email. But after coming back, you see that all of your contents being vanished or you disappeared. You think that, okay, somebody has been deleted or like that. But see, there is not even an indication that the filter is being turned on. So I find this one of the strange things. So that always, whenever you find any situation where your content being whichever worked on is not available or not visible, and you are sure that you have saved it, always once I would like request you to check this filter. Go to filter and click on this clear filter, so that you will get back your contents. Okay, this is what I found. Yeah. Then coming to this section of the so assume that you have to take any action on this particular email which is been built, okay? A static email which has been built. So the different actions you can take on and edit that particular email, or see the properties, or send that email. So preview and test, and content detective. A content detective is, it will identify if there are any spam causing, means assume that if that email does having any word like a repetitive word or some triple exclamation marks, so that would lead that to make it to land to the spam, and it will not land to inbox. So the SFMC provides that feature, so that I can just click on it and show you. So it will just run through that subject line and body of that email and check if there are any spam causing, so that it detected no spam causing things. So like that. It will checks the content, subject line on all the text. Okay, and then share. As I said, if you click on share, it will give you an option. If there are any other business units, currently I do not have. If it is having access to, you'll be able to share to the different other business units and share it to different business unit, and the other users can edit it and make use of it. And then copy location. See, previously, like this feature was, now it is very useful feature wherein you want to share the details, means to your colleague, wherein please continue to work on this email. So if it is if there are many subfolders and like 2022 February and some new campaigns under that folder, this email is there. Instead of you manually copying, if you just click on copy location and just see directly like this, you can, it will give you the complete absolute path of that particular asset. So under the content builder, if there are many subfolders, even that would be providing that, like that folder one, under that folder, then finally the name of the content block. So like that, it will give you the complete location of within the SFMC platform. Or if you want to move that to a different folder, or if you want to duplicate. So if you click on duplicate, it will just copy it, and it will ask you to what will be the name of the copied content block and where you want to store it. So directly you can rename it here itself and move it, and then if you click on save and edit, you will be landing to the copied version of this block, and directly you can start to edit the copied version. Okay. You will not be creating copy. And finally delete. So like this, you can take any action on this particular content blocks. But assume that you want to take action on bulk of the things. Assume content, this one and this one. So you want to take action on these two email templates. So then you would be taking action here under the actions. So there will be limited actions, and a couple when you are taking multiple contents, either you can share or delete or move. Okay. So using these checkboxes, you can do it. Okay. So this is the user interface and how to use SFMC. I see as question like, is there a staging environment where we can test and replicate production? Yeah, that's a good question. Like, but in SFMC, there is nothing like how in Salesforce CRM we have a production and sorry, what is it? Developer environment, developer org. So that is called Sandbox, or even we have Sandbox orgs. But in SFMC, we do not have test sandboxes. But what we can do is how the different ways which I have seen in a couple of companies is they would be creating a separate business unit dedicatedly to use as a sandbox, so that we can connect that particular business unit with the sandbox environment and use it for testing. And if you see most also, I don't see any specific reason for using a separate sandbox, because if you see in SFMC, each and every studio, if you take event studio, even within email studio, we have preview and test feature. So testing feature is there in email also. So similarly, if you take any journey builder also, in journey builder also we have test feature. So like that, each of the features they have provided testing feature. But I think at the end of the session, I think either Shibu Abrams, I will request to add on to that answer. So I will continue with the next phase, that is let's start with content blocks. Okay. So in today's demonstration, what I would be we are going to achieve is, first I will build the static version of the email and then the dynamic version. So today what we are going to build is, first I will show the email we are going to build, and then we are going. So yeah, this is the final version, static version, which we are going to build. Okay. So this is also taken, and we are taking an example for the same NT1 Northern Trail Outfitters, and show you how to build this email using without any coding knowledge of HTML coding. We will use all the features which are available in the SFMC platform. Okay. To start with, always go Let me delete this. Already there are images. I want to delete it. I will just show example of one and we can use the same thing. So start with, first I will show how to upload your assets. Assume that you have all your assets received from an agency or your client and you want to upload this. Okay, so you can, to upload, there are multiple ways of uploading. So one is you can undergo to create, upload and upload content. So it will ask you to select your images from your My Computer, or one of the easiest ways, either you can select one image and just drag and drop here. Make sure that when you, before you dropping it, this message drop anywhere to upload, this comes. Okay, or if you drop here, it will not work. So let me show you what happens. We'll use this tab. Instead of dropping here, I will use here only. If you drop here, the file will be opened, okay, but it will not be uploaded. So always, if you drop in the section where it asks you to drop anywhere, that time it will take it will consider that image, but still now it will not automatically start to upload. Before you that actually upload, you can take some actions. That one is you can click on options. See, before that you can you can rename that image if you wanted to. Okay, if you don't want this hyphen, instead of that you want to give underscore, you can give that underscore and then click on done. Okay, still the images is not uploaded. So once you done that, you need to click on upload and publish. So this is the first step of uploading any image, document file, video file, supported video and audio file. Even after this, it is just being uploaded, but still not, it will not be available in content builder. Then you need to click on this sort uploaded content. Even before that, if you are a developer and if you are using this asset or an image in any external or in a cloud page, so even you can set a customer key for this. You can, by SFMC by default, there is something called GUID. Using that, it will generate a 36 character random number. But if you want to override that, and you can give a custom external key so that you can use in your external programs or on your SSJS or script. Okay. Let's give anatomy. Okay, so that and done. So now, now once you click on sort uploaded content, now the content will be uploaded and will be available for use. So in order to use this email, if you're using within content builder directly, you can select, or if you want to use in any cloud page other, you can get the link easily by clicking this and copy published URL. So this option is available only for images. Copy published URL, and sometimes it takes a couple of seconds. Let's see whether it is hosted. Yeah, it is already hosted and already available for use. Okay, so this is how you start with uploading the images. Similarly, I have uploaded all the images which I require. Okay, and then, so that is the first part, uploading your assets and content. Next, in the next step, we want to build the content blocks. Okay, so let's build. Let's build this section. We're in the header navigation section. So I would build these blocks, this one block, second block, and third block, and the footer block. And then we'll show how to create a template and then finally build an email. So let's start with this header navigation. So create content blocks. So while creating content blocks, there are many different types of content blocks available, but I would always prefer to use freeform. So if you're good at HTML and you can completely build that particular block externally, like example, using a Dreamweaver, you can use that HTML option and completely copy paste the complete HTML code. If you are building your content block right within SFMC, you can select freeform so that you will have the flexibility of using HTML code as well as the feature, the WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get, that feature within SFMC platform itself. So I will use this block and So, and then we want to build, okay, before that, as this is having 5 column layout, I take that. See, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to build 5 column layout. Not to understand, I will make this highlight outline block level elements. So yeah, you can see that this is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 columns in this particular block. So I will take something called layouts. Under the content blocks, there is something called layout, yeah, here. So there are some built-in different layouts available here. Like if it is a hero image or 1 column blocks, 2 column blocks, 3 column blocks, and under empty blocks, you get, yeah, 5 column blocks is here. So yeah, as in, the more you use this SFMC, you will get to use to like where by seeing at the content design or wireframe, you'll understand like what type of blocks you can use. You can take this 5 column block. Okay, so this is just a wireframe kind of thing. So here you can start to adding your contents. Okay. So what I would be doing is MTO quitters. So here first in the first block we want the image, so you can straight away use. So there are different basic content blocks available. You can use the image block. So whenever you just drag and drop image block, it will know that you want to upload an image. So either you can give an image directly from an external source. To give an example, let's take directly from website. I will take the view source. Yeah. So directly from website, I can get this logo URL and come to SFMC, and I can paste this URL so that it will take directly the image from there. Okay. Or let's see, if you click browse, it will search for that. It will search any images that are readily available within SFMC. So this is the logo. So I can select this. So this is the image which is available within SFMC. I don't want it to fit to scale. But yeah, you may see that it is a transparent PNG. That's the reason it is not visible. I mean, the text is there. So to make it properly visible, you need to give the proper exact background which is available here. So you can inspect it and use this color picker, and copy the color code. So now I want to give, I will give the background not only to this particular block of this logo, but to the complete this row. The reason being, if you see here, I want to make it look similar to the brand. So they have used the navigation is completely having this gray color. So I have copied the color. I want to give it to the complete background. So once you click on this, so that you can give it under this layout section settings. So under layout, so here is the background. So as of now, it is none. So here directly you can give the color code. So see, now if you give the color code, I have copied so that it will give to the complete block. Okay. So now the logo is fine. Later we can make fine adjustments. Next, the second one is I want to make these men, women, kids, and gear. So the second section here, I am adding, it is only just a text, but still I would prefer to use free form. Free form. So here in the free form, you would be able to add either text or image. So now I would be adding just the text, that is men, and then I can select, and now it is just like a Visifig editor. What you see is what you get. You can select the image and give it a color. So that is white in color. Select this and color. So now it is color is white, but I want to make it center. Again, select your image, just like your MS Word, Microsoft Word, you can make it center line. It will be aligned to center. And also you can see it is from the bottom, you want to make this to the middle, vertical middle. But here you have to do that using line height. So this is line height. Click on this and make it double. So now it is aligned to middle. Now this is fine. This like look wise, this is fine. But however, if you on the website or even on the email, if you click on this, If you click on this, this will land to, this will land to this section. So even you have to make that link as clickable. So you can copy this link. You can select the particular text, and this is the section where you can link. You can click on this link icon. So, and then you can directly just paste it. See here, as of now, this is HTTP, but if you paste the link, it will easily identify what is the protocol, whether it is a secure protocol or a normal HTTP protocol. Based on that, it will automatically change. That is the link URL section. Then link text means whenever you mouse over on that, it will show what is the link text. If you want to change the link color, this is one of the important things. I will show like what will happen if you don't select the link color, and I will just give the link and click on OK. See, automatically it will become blue. The reason being, it is the default feature of HTML, wherein any hyperlink, it will be blue in color. So in order to override that, any HTML developers would be knowing that. So that we need to override that anchor tag's default behavior. So instead of without having any HTML on it, it's directly here only. So under the link section only, here just you need to select the color. You select the same color as the text. That's it. So it is FFF or white color. Then it is a link title and tracking alias. So this tracking alias is what you can use in your post deployment reports. So like I will give like men header nav, so that if any subscriber or customer clicks these links, that will be tracked, so that which link that particular subscriber has clicked. So it will show as like men header nav. Okay, now so like this. Now this is the same color, fine. So like that. Similarly, you can build the other stuff. So let me build that fast. So we'll take that same free form domain, select, and then do white color. Then go here. Copy link. Center align. Double quotes link. Paste. Then keep it white. And then free form. Center align. Double line height. So we'll keep it as it is. Free form. So like this, you can see. But however, finally, if you want to make any fine adjustments, wherein you want to reduce the spaces here and then increase space here between the logo and the navigations, that you can do under the finally configure. So here, by default, as this is a 5-column block, it has evenly distributed across 20%. So if you increase here, like, so you want to move it under like 30%. So it will be dedicated here. And let's move from here 85. Let me give 85. And then this is 65, 45, 55. So like this, like you can make fine adjustments using this slider. And also if you want to decrease spaces between that, this also you can do that. So like this, this is a block. And then you can save this as a header block. So I will save this as header nav content block. Save. Okay, now we have the header block. So that is, yeah, this block is ready. Now we have to create this particular block. So now this is a, as you can see, this is a 3-column block. But in each of the columns, you will have an image, a text, and a CTA button. So if you're, so similarly, we can go to the layout block again. But here under the 3-column, yeah, it's a 3-column. Where is 3-column? Yeah, under 3-column blocks, you can see different two, but one of the block which almost exactly matches your requirement. So you can easily take that block and select, but that will give you only placeholders. Better you need to select. So now you can select the images. Just you need to click here, and similarly you can browse your images and select the, start with 0, 0, 0. Select an image if it's readily available, and you need to give the text or the title. So, but if you click on here, it will be empty because it is just a placeholder. You need to scratch build everything manually. You need to select it and center align, copy the link, copy link. Okay, so now the link. We'll take it from the website. In the main section. Issues. Okay, so copy link. You can link here and select paste. Yep, the link text can be, you can give it same as this one. And then title, I will not be giving any title for this too much. And make it again text as black color. Now if you want to give that code pricings, the actual text and offer price, you can copy it, paste it, give a enter, and this one you want to make it blue, you can copy the exact color. Select this and give the text. Here you have to give the color. This is fine, and then here this should be a striked out text, so that you can see here. So as you can see in MS Word, similarly it is striked, and also this is in different color. Let's select the exact color. Again, selected text and select this, give any color and paste. So finally you have this, and then okay, this block is ready. Done. I will give the CTA button. CTA button is view this item and copy link on CTA button. View this item. Give the link. Not give any alias, but we want to make the CTA button look the same. So again, copy the color code of the CTA button. The border color as well as the background color, both we have to give the same. So now it looks good. Fine. This is also linked, yeah, but once we need to link the image. I think. Yep. Even for the image, you can make it clickable by copy link, paste it. So okay, like this, you can build the blocks. However, in order to expedite, like you can make reuse of the things. To give an example, you can duplicate this block. You can paste it here. Delete this, and again delete this title block, and duplicate this and drag it here. Again, you delete this CTA button. Again, duplicate this and drag here. Even drag to bottom. So like this, you can duplicate and navigate to here, and then you can click on replace. After 0, it is 100. This one. Let me check. Yeah, this one. Then you can just change the text, copy that text, and go to HTML editor. This time, instead of making changes here, I would suggest to do it in HTML. That's because if you make changes here, not only it will change the text, but it will remove all the applied styles and links. So always go to HTML and make the change, text change. Then it's 88 and 110. Make it here. 88, 110. And then just you need to change the links of all 3 sections. Copy link. First go to header, image. Go to link, edit, change it, save. Next, come to the title. Select this. Edit link. Select file, paste. So I'll try what is this. Okay, done. Then click on CTA button and then change the link. See it again. We need to make the color as white, black. Okay, I think, yeah, it will be same process. I will not be completing the same to take that. So similarly, you can build all the 3 different blocks and keep on duplicating, and then like this is product blocks. It is incomplete. So like that, you can create the 2 blocks, and finally you can create the nav as well. So like that, I have created an email, static email. So the header section, you can see the header section, the the first 3 product block and the second 3 product blocks, and finally the footer section. Okay. So now like this, you can create the static email. So now what I would like to cover is like, actually it is at the last step, but still I will show. There is the concept of can spam. Okay. So let's go here. Before I show in the platform, I will cover some topics. Okay. Navigate here. Yeah. Also, I will give you this, can use this link to access whatever I'm giving training. You can use this in the later part of the training. That is this link. So that when you use this link, you will be landed to a this GitHub page. This is a public repository wherein I have given all the details and even the emails and the data extension which I will be using. Everything is packaged here. You can export this data extension package and email package and import using the package manager. I think if you might be knowing package manager, so it will be available here. You can go to package manager and import it. So if you are using for practice purpose, I will be giving in the chat. So in the same repository, here I given what is this can spam. Here you can see some useful links also. So here the Salesforce, according to not only it is according to the Salesforce, but it is this can spam act will apply for any email sending platform. As you know, SFMC is one of the email sending platform, but this can spam act is for any commercial email sending out of any ESPs. Okay. So what does this the mandatory acts the law says is, first one is accurately identify the sender in the header information. To give an example, see, as I said in the initial example, if you see this example Bata, so in the sender information, it accurately represents that it is representing the Bata company. Okay. So like that, if you are sending any promotional email, you must represent the exact company, okay, or the sender. And next, use the subject line that accurately represents the content of the email. See, here the subject line, right, say like Simons, it's your right. It's something like they're promoting their product. So it's your right to purchase the product or something. But if you see any promotional email, we must come to know what is the content of the email just by looking at the subject line. So like that, we must properly represent. So it should not be misleading. Okay. Next, identify the message as an advertisement unless you have opt-in. So what does this state is? So as you might know, there are two send classifications. Okay. Classifications. So that is, one is commercial and second one is transactional. To give a simple example, any commercial emails, if you want to tag any emails as a commercial, means it is like a promotional. Consider example of any Puma or a Nike company promoting their products. If they're promoting their products and if they're sending an email like giving an offers, or if there is an upcoming like some winter sale, so those kind of offers, summer sale. So those are promotional emails. Okay. Or if you want to, if you take a banking sector, if they want to promote their some credit card benefits of credit card. Okay, those are credit card offers. Okay. So those are promotional emails. Transactional one is the very good example is, so whenever you withdraw money from your ATM, immediately you will get an SMS as well as an email. Okay. A withdrawal email. So immediately you will get a transactional emails. Generally, transactional emails are very sent immediately than the commercial. So in commercial, it beforehand only you will get to know who are your target audience, and then you will target. But while sending your transactional emails, based on any action taken by the particular subscriber, you will be sending those transactional emails. So in this case, whenever you're sending transactional email, even if subscriber, assume that I have an account in take any bank like Axis Bank. So in Axis Bank, I am a customer, existing customer. So if I'm an existing customer, I need not give opt-in for even if I opt out from the commercial promotional newsletters from Axis Bank. But if I withdraw money, I will be getting an notification stating that because I have already given my consent. So that email need not have unsubscribe link. So that is what it meant here. Means if you have an opt-in from the subscriber, then it's okay to have not having unsubscribe link or not mention it as a like what is the intent of that email. So that's not what it means. Then include physical address. So that if you take any example, like let's take our own. If you see any email at the footer, they will have the physical email address of the company it is sent, the email is sent from. Okay, that is the physical email address of the sender. Then provide mechanism to opt out. So that means every commercial email should have unsubscribe link. Okay, and then honor opt-outs and process within 10 days. Means it is maximum 10 days. It means if anybody has clicked on unsubscribe, we should stop sending them email at least after they click 10 days. That is the maximum time we have. That's what these are the mandatory things we should, not only we, any ESPs, email sending platform should suffice. Okay. So how this SFMC handle those things, let's see. So I have built-in static emails. Let's come back to the same example. I have built-in static email, but now if I try to do a send or sorry, we go back. Static email. Preview and test. So if I try to preview and test this email, I would be getting an error. So see, what are the two errors I'm getting is, the first one is a profile center link is missing in the email. Okay, and the second one is the valid physical email address is missing. So according to the can spam, like even apart from this unsubscribe also is there. So like this, those are the mandatory things which should be there in this email. As those are not there, I am unable to send this or deploy this email. Okay. So there are multiple ways how you can overcome this option. I will show 3 ways. Okay. The one way is, as it is telling, those are missing. So just you need to include them. Okay. How you can include? There are 2 ways. At the footer of the section, I will even show how to add. So you can add any HTML block or code snippet block. Let's take code block only, and then you can just add. You can go to your block, and here there is a called insert code snippet. Okay, there are some built-in snippets available from systems. They are called system snippets, code snippets. So there are different code snippets available, but out of those you can see some are marked with required. So those are nothing but mandatory snippets which should be available in any email. Okay. So the first one is being physical email address, and there is profile center. So this can be inserted in any order. So first I would be inserting profile center link. So it would link, and also you can see how it would look. And also I would insert physical mailing address. So now it added the profile center link as well as physical mailing address. So now if I click on preview and test, it would generate the preview without any errors. So now you can see it has generated preview, but it has added this additional profile center link as well as physical mailing address. So this is one way of fixing the issue, fixing the can spam issue. The second one is let's click. Instead of doing this, there is a latest recent feature wherein easily you can, there is a custom tag they have given that is called custom. It is a tag which works only within SFMC custom, and type is equal to footer. So there are header and footer. I will show the header as well. Now I have to apply footer, custom footer, that's it. So now if it is even a self-closing tag, or you can close this like this, custom type is equal to footer. If you click on this and preview and test, the SFMC platform will insert the default footer, including all the mandatory things which are required. So you can see even the send to and the physical mailing address, the privacy policy of the Salesforce SFMC, the subscription center page, the profile center page, and one click unsubscribe. So all these things the SFMC will easily embed this. But assume that you have well versed with HTML, means your company has a very good HTML developers, wherein they can custom build even this section within the content of your email in that section. And also assume that you are having custom preference center page, means this is, if you click on this will be the default subscription page and the profile center page available from Salesforce. But if you want to make your preference center more branded, so in those cases you can build your own custom profile center page in using Web Studio, using SSJS and AppScript. So in those cases, you can use custom those links within your email. In that section, you have to disable this feature. So how you can do that is, I can show it in the slides. Let's go back to our slides. Yeah. So go back. Yeah. So under setup, under Email Studio, we have something called email optional features. So if you navigate there, under Email Studio, email optional features, before we had to raise support ticket to disable the default can spam, but nowadays these features are directly available for us only. Like the admins who are having admin rights, they can go to this email optional features and they can turn off or on this feature. So the mandatory profile link check, the mandatory physical address check, the unsubscribe link check. So like this, we can enable or disable. If we disable all these features, so even if you do not put that profile link and physical link, it will not throw that error which we were seeing right now in the tool. So like this, we can control, but here it warns you that, but before you turning off this feature, we must make sure that all these stuffs, all these mandatory things are present in our email. So if we are confident and we are sure that we will comply with all the legal rules, then we can go ahead and disable these things. Okay. So that's how we can disable this mandatory term. Then now I have completed this. Before we go to the dynamic part, I will complete the sender profile and delivery profile also. So let me see the example here. The concept of okay. First, before we see in the platform, just I will explain the concept of send classification, sender profile, and delivery profile. First, we have something called send classification. Okay, as you know here, this will have send classification will have two things: commercial and transactional. So okay, so under one. Okay, good. Under one send classification, you will have sender profile and delivery profile. Okay, so each send, either it can be commercial or transactional. So what the sender profile will have is, let me take example. As you know, like one send classification, you have sender profile and delivery profile. One sender profile will have from name, from email address, reply name, and reply email address. Okay. And then in delivery profile, we'll have the header. What will be the header for that type of delivery profile? What will be the footer? And what will be the IP address? Okay, like this. So like this, we can have it. So always whenever you want to create, means you want to have custom things of all these sender profile, delivery profile, and send classification. Always you need to do create first sender profile and delivery profile, and then create a send classification. Under that send classification, you need to select the sender profile and delivery profile. Okay. So now I will just try to create and test one and demonstrate to you. Let's go. If I am having access, go to admin. First, we will, as I said, we'll first create sender profile. First, we need to create the childs and then select the parent. So, sender profile, create. Let's say we are doing this for the NTO products. Okay, NTO shoes. I'll just give the name. NTO shoes only. And then see, I can use this the from name as anything like NTO. Can be corp. Just I will give NTO. Okay, but note that the from email means we cannot use any random email. Okay, that the reason being, if you want assume that you can give your personal email here. If the platform had supported that, and you can just save, you could have sent any thousands of emails from your email address, so that you can cause a lot of spams. That would be not a good thing. So always, if you want to make use of any email address from which you can send, first that should be added to the from address management. So always it's good practice to have email address from the something called sender authentication domain, means an authenticated domain. So that to have that, you should have sender authentication package. Okay, so as of now, I would be using an existing Jyotsna's email address. So JBIPRA. So when you click on tab while creating this one, so if it is already verified and available in the from address management, you can see it is verified. By default, it will get verified. But the from name you can change because it does not imply any sender. Similarly, if you want, you can give any custom reply name and reply email address. But I don't want to. I will create this. The from only I have changed from name is NTO. I will say NTO shoes. Just to identify, this is the sender profile. I will identify with SP sender profile. Save it. Okay. Now I will create a delivery profile. So I will create same NTO shoes, but delivery profile. So as I said, it will have only three things. See here, I will complete. I will use the account default header and account default footer. But here I don't have the option to select different IPs. That's the reason being, if you have purchased any private domains, then only you would be able to use your private or a dedicated IP address from which you can send emails. So in this account, we have only default IP address. So we are using the same. So let it save. So in this section, we are not doing any changes, keeping everything same. Now I will go ahead and create a send classification and create NTO send class NTO shoes. This is send classification. So here, so in this section, you will not be doing anything much. You need to select whether it is a commercial or transactional. if you are using this send classification to send email communications as commercial, you would be using this. Or if you are using transactional, you will be selecting this. Okay. But note that when you select transactional, it gives an additional option as honor source and publication list level opt-outs. What does this means? Assume that as you, I think you would be known, there is a concept called all subscribers, and there is the state there is called subscriber status. Assume that if somebody has unsubscribed in all subscribers, his subscriber status is opted out, and then if you have used commercial, then the email would never go to that person because the subscription status is unsubscribed. That's the reason it will never go. But if you select transactional and you will not select this checkbox, and you will, if you send the email, even the subscriber status is unsubscribed, the email will be delivered to him. That's the reason, because the transactional, it will not check whether the subscription status is active or not. Okay. So to honor that, you need to have these additional settings. So as of now, we are doing promotional. I will select commercial. And here just you need to select two things. Sender profile, as I said, it is a classification of the parent. You just need to select the two childs. The sender profile is NTO shoes. Sender profile, delivery profile is NTO shoes, delivery profile. That's it. And then you can, if you want, you can select, there is something called normal and low priority. This you can ignore. I'll keep normal and save. Okay, now let's try to use this and send a test email. So let's go to Email Studio, Content Builder. Let me keep my laptop for charge. Let's take the same static email, preview and test. Let's take that is there. Okay, fine. So now while sending test proof, so I would be using a Outmail. So those who are daily working with any email activity, so I would suggest to use this Outmail. So this is like a temporary mailbox wherein you can give any name without even registration. You can get and use this email inbox to test your proofs. So I will be triggering the email to the Outmail, and here I will be selecting the send classification NTO shoes. So like this, you can create different send classifications and use it for different products. Assume that for NTO shoes, you can use a different sender profile and send classification, and NTO jackets, you can use different design. So like this, different products or different brands, you can create different sender profile. Also note that you have a flexibility to change from in the send NTO shoes send classification. You have NTO shoes sender profile and NTO shoes delivery profile, but assume that under the shoes you want to use some other send classification. Even that is possible. The different permutation and combination also is possible. While sending, that is where you would be configuring the final settings. The from name would be NTO. When I receive the email, the from email address would be this one. So let's see. Let's send the test proofs. Clicks not required. Suppress enable. Okay, send. So now tricks and send the test email. Let's give a wait for a minute. So you can keep on refreshing this. So yeah, until it comes, I can show. See, whenever images are blocked, the email would look something like this. So yeah, the user have to enable the images in order to see the actual images. Yeah, see, now you see, this is the from name. The from name is NTO and the from email address. So like this, We can create our own custom sender profiles and delivery profiles. Okay, now I will be moving to the next part, that is the dynamic emails. So let's start with the simple one. So in SFMC, we can create the dynamic content in different ways. One who is good at AMP script, they can build the dynamic content blocks using AMP script. Even from simple to complex AMP scripts can be written. But one who is new to SFMC, and they can start with something called dynamic content blocks. That is just, I will show you, that will be available here, dynamic content. Okay, just I will. So how we can, I will show the example, and then I will show how we can build the simple dynamic content block. Yeah. So review and test. So here in this example, I will show how this is configured, but I will show. In this example, what we are doing is, if the gender of the subscriber, who means to whom we are sending that subscriber, if this he is a male, then he would receive the male category image and the male category links, means male jackets, male pants, and male shirts. If the gender is female, then the female images will be displayed, and they will be landed to women jackets, women's shoes, and women's pants. So like that. So this is, here we are doing dynamic things just on a one simple field, that is gender. There is no complex logic. So here there are only two variations, male and female. To do that, we can use the concept of the dynamic content blocks. So how we can do is, before we make them dynamic, first we need to have two static blocks. I will show. See, this is a men's category block. This is a simple static block. So I will even edit and show you. I have taken this two column plus this 3-column layout and built this static block. So this is a simple image, and there are 3 simple static images which are linked. Similarly, this is men's category, and similarly, a women's category images block is built, women images and women categories. And then we have to build, let me build and show you actually. Let's go to content blocks and build dynamic content. Content blocks and dynamic content. And then see, to start with, there are 2 options, dynamic content. Keep the content blocks up to date and make local copies. So what does this mean? If you keep the first one, it will always whenever you are sending maybe images, it will always take the updated blocks. In the previous, when I recently showed you, like we should have 2 blocks readily. So if you make any changes to that block, it will always reflect in this dynamic block. So always use this block so that you will always have the updated content. Then you must select the different content blocks. The first one is the default block. Means whenever, to give an example, if let's take here. Review and test. Yeah, what does this section is telling that? See, this subscriber is having gender is equal to female, so we should display this block. When the gender is male, we should display this block. Assume that if there is any subscriber, I think we don't have. If there is any subscriber for where gender is blank, we don't have any information on the gender. In that situation, what should be displayed? That is what it is asking here. So in that, you must select any content block which according to your business requirement. So I will be selecting the men's categories. So this is the default block, the default content block, which will be displayed when there is no dynamic variable, or the value to the dynamic option is available. So first we should select that. Next, we must create the rule. The first rule, what create the rule. We can create the rules based on either profile attributes or data extension fields. So as we are sending the email using data extensions, we will select data extension and click on OK. And then based on what fields, always you will be selecting your target sendable data extensions, target audience data extensions, NTO. So this is my customers database. So here I want to make the content dynamic based on the field gender. So either you can drag and drop here like this, or you can just double click here on this gender. So it will be added here. Then you have the option equal to. So there are many variants, contains, is empty. So mine, I am sure that I have the value only M and F. So if the gender is equal to M, that is men, then what should be displayed? What content should be displayed? That we must select here. So when the gender is male, we must select what content to display. So that is men's categories. So we are telling when the gender is male, show this content block. That's it. Now save. Now we have saved the rule 1. Similarly, even you can rename this like men's. So like this. Similarly, you can create one more rule for women. Same. When gender is equal to F, then select women's categories. Yep, that's it. Then save. And if you want, you can even rename this women category. That's it. Even you can do a preview. If you click on this, it will show the women's category. If you click on this, it will show men category. What is the default? So like this. So like this, this is a fine. But to do this, it is fine like up to like what I believe is up to like 5 to 10. That is also maximum. But assume that if you have like 150 countries and you want to display based on different logics, different content blocks, it is not like a good practice to use this dynamic content blocks to make different variations like 6 or 10. Okay? So to do that, we must use AMP script. So, okay, let's use that next. So I will just save this and first show you again. So this is dynamic men women. Save. Let me put this is just a dynamic content block. Let me put that in an email. Okay, I can add it to this email only. So the content, as I said, the content blocks can be added to any email. So even to the static email, I will add that particular block. So in order to create new blocks, you would be using this section. In order to select an existing block, you can just go to this section. And if you're sure, yeah, and then you can, the recently edited or created would be at the top. So you can easily select that and drag and drop. On done. So now you can preview and test. As I'm selecting the same data extensions, the preview should be generated. Yep, as the gender is equal to male, it is showing male. And the gender is female, it will switch to female. So like this, we can create dynamic emails using the dynamic content blocks within the feature available. So also let me cover the personalization. So the personalization you can add. The personalization means like if you want to like make the email more customized, assume that hi and hi, and you can type like example I'm showing this one and check out our new collection. If this looks like this, I will be more prompted to open the email because it is having my name. Similarly, here in this section, we can add any of the first name of all the subscribers. In order to do that, you can just give percentage and the first name field of yours in your sendable data extension. So let's check that. Contact builder. No, it is first name. Let me add and then check. Without spaces. So this is the exact field name. You must give within the percentage syntax. Click on that. Let me preview and check. If you click on preview and check, if it is there, it will select. Yeah, it will pull it from the first name field. So this first name should be exactly the field personalization field which we gave. So it will even change for each and every subscriber. So like that, you can personalize the text not only in subject line, even in pre-header or even in within the email content. Let me add here. Form. Here and can easily give the first name. And even you can format this, make this select this or make it some different color. And only make this one as bold. String. Yep. So it changes according to the subscriber. Okay. So this is just now we are done with the like a medium level complex or personalized emails. So finally, let's go with a like little bit complex model wherein assume that in your yeah. First, I will show this in technical way. So if you take any website, there might be like hundreds to thousands of products, and we cannot sit and build each blocks for each of these products. Okay? So in order to do that, if you take an example of this, let's take an example of these three products and understand how these are organized within the website, and we can use the make use of same thing. So if you see when the image, first let's see the image, copy image link and paste. So even this image is organized, means identified by this particular number. Okay, 0800, so 1800 and 100. This is the image, and whenever the someone click, they will land to this link. So here also we can identify the same number. So that means it is a product ID. Okay, so this particular product is identified by this ID. So like this, then we can easily identify them. If you want to display this image and the link of this image, then it would be just changing the ID. So if we give the change ID, so it will display the product details of this one. And also if you want to change, see the image or image URL of that one. So like this. So once we know how this is organized in the website, then we can easily program or code that to identify all the products. Just by changing those values, we can easily identify. So once you understand that, then you need to create like a data model or a organize that this data extensions, organize that a product catalog in your marketing cloud. Data extensions test. Yeah, so first we will have a separate data extensions called product catalog, and note that this will be a non-sendable data extension. Means we are not sending any email to this using this data extension. The reason being, it will not have any subscriber data. It will have only product ID. Every product will have its own product URL. Product URL is the product details page, and every product will have its product image and the product title and the offer price and the original price. This is nothing but this is the product image, and this is the product title. This is the product offer price. This is the original price, and whenever someone click on this image or button, where they will land, that is the product link, product URL. So like this, each we can have a product database or a product catalog in a separate data extension, and then in our, let me open another tab, data extensions. Here I will open content folder. Customers. It takes the first example. So for this customer, assume that he can have maximum of six favorite products, and we can just populate the products, means their favorite products or recently browsed or recently purchased products that we can populate based on some logics. Just having the product IDs, we can generate. So first I will review and show, later I will explain the logic written. It's gone. Let's take on from studio. Was used. Then dynamic then we will test. Yep, let's take the first example. Yeah, so this customer, this customer is having all six favorite products. That's the reason he is having all the six products available. Let's take example. This customer is having only three favorite products. So for him, it will display only the first three products or the whichever product IDs he has opted up. And the next one is having only two. So it's display only two. So the next one is having four. So it will display four. So like this, based on their favorite products existing in their data extensions, we can pull the respective product details and display it. Okay. So now let's try to understand how to build this. So there are mainly two type of development need to be done. The first one is first we need to build the static version and then make it generalize. I will start with this navigation. First I will show the front end, then I will go with the AMP script logic. So in the front end itself, here you may see this header sections will be even everything is customized. Even this logo also. You can go to this particular block. If you go to HTML block, this here, okay, yeah, here. Even the link of this navigation, that is navigation link, and the navigation text, everything both are pulled dynamically. Means what should be displayed and when someone clicks on this, where it should land. Both are pulled dynamically. So to do that, I will show like navigation. Okay, I have stored it within SFDC. So like this, I have four things, and where these are stored, I will show it here, and even the subject line and pre-header. So for this complete email campaign, this subject line and pre-header and the header navigations, these are fixed. So I will be hard coding these things. Okay, so I need to explain this custom fonts also. I will do it last. Yeah, see, as you can see, the subject line, I am hard coding this as NTO men shoes here, so that the subject line will be populated from here. Even you can store this in a values and data extension, but I'm just showing the multiple ways. So this way I'm hard coded, the pre-header is also hard coded. This logo URL, the image URL also is hard coded. And this is the text, what should be displayed. The header navigation text are hard coded here. And the navigation URLs means each of these links means where it should navigate. That's we have given here. Okay. Then I will come to the next. Then we have to build. Actually, while developing, we have to build the one block, one column, and then you can just replicate and replace one with two and two with three like that. So I will just explain one block here. So first we'll go to the first block. Yeah. So here what we have done is we got the code itself. So here first I'm checking that if product one is not empty, means in the sendable data action, if there is no favorite product one, then I'm completely keeping in if and if, so that this particular block section only will not be displayed if there is no product one available. So like that, I have operated for every block. If product 2 is not available, then this complete block will be. If product 3 is not available, so like this P1, P2 to P6, we have written all 6 products. Then in the just in the place of the image, we have to give the product image. This is coming from product image URL from a product catalog. We are doing a lookup for this. I will show that logic. So like this, these variables are everything at the initial block. So like this, we have to place the image URL and the link URL. Everything in it should be pulled dynamically, and even the product title also is pulled dynamically, and until the even the CTA button URL. The CTA button URL also is the pull dynamic. So all the URLs basically same. If you see the product URL, whether if they click on the image, or if they click on the title, or if they click on the CTA button, all the links will land to the same page. So we can make the use of the same variable. Okay, now I'll just, so like this, we have replicated and just changed from 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. In order to do that, your AMP script should be properly written. So this is the AMP script. I will show it in a, let me copy in the Visual Studio. Where are you? Yeah, yes. So actually we can optimize this, but for simplicity, I've written separately for each of the content blocks. So if for product one, this is a shorter version of the product one, wherein instead of this, we can even write attribute value of the field name. The field name is P1. So we can write like this, but that is just a shorter version of this one. So we can put square brackets. So from the sendable data extension, I will be able, if there is product one, favorite product one, I will be storing in the local script variable. And then also once again, just I'm checking if the product one is not empty, then I'm doing a lookup of NTO product catalog. Means by taking that product ID, I am going to the product catalog data extension and fetching the other details, like obviously there'll be only one row. So I'm taking that row. I'm taking the product URL, product image, product title, product offer price, and product original price. So all these I'm taking and storing in a respective variables. And these are the 5 variables which we will be using here in our each of the blocks to display the output. Okay. So like this, each of the product, you can just copy here and paste it and replace 1 with 2. Only note that this section, this is representing that the first row of the row set. So apart from that, you should replace just P1, P2, P3. So like this, you will have all the product details pulled dynamically using this lookup. So this is how to pull the details, you will be using this kind of logic. And to display, this is the most important. Like even while displaying, if you have to put this condition, whether within the if blocks, if product not empty, and then end if. So if we put only this, then only this particular section will be displayed. If the product is not there, then it will not be displayed. Okay. I think that's all I had for the day. Anybody have any questions or?
So thanks Vishal for this session. Just a quick question: is it the session is done for today?
Yeah, actually, yeah, this much I had for today.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for such a great session that you have given in such a detailed way. This was really helpful, and even I got to learn many things. So Guys, I'm just giving you the permission to unmute yourself. If you want to ask any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and then ask the question directly to Vishal. So that whatever the question you have, please just go ahead and then ask to the Vishal. And regarding the PPT and the videos and the code that we have